Hi, my name is Poet Woods, founder of An Entrepreneur's Mind, and thank you so much for taking our Entrepreneurial DNA Type quiz. Your detailed quiz report is being prepared for you right now, and you'll get the email in about 30 minutes. In the meantime, let's do a very quick overview and glance at the surface of your quiz results. Based on the information you've shared and the little I know about you and your situation, here's the entrepreneurial DNA type that you have identified yourself to be the most. The entrepreneurial DNA type that you identify with the most is type T2. That stands for thorough thinker, which is one of the 4 entrepreneurial DNA types. It indicates that by very definition, you've identified your dominant entrepreneurial DNA type to be T2. You have the ability to execute things without negligence or omission. You're also extremely painstakingly attentive to accuracy and detail. Those whose dominant entrepreneurial DNA type is T2 are artful at rational reasoning and thoughtful reflection. Now, one of the mistakes that people whose entrepreneurial DNA type is H2 make is that if they ever try to get to the next level of entrepreneurship using the strategy that has worked for someone else or a friend but hasn't worked for you, chances are you use the wrong strategy, systems, and tools for your entrepreneurial DNA type. If you really want to get to the next level of entrepreneurship in your health and wealth, you need a strategy that incorporates and takes into consideration the likely entrepreneurial DNA health and wealth imbalances that you have. And that means thinking with an entrepreneur's mind about implementing the right strategies, using the right systems and tools, and staying away from certain strategies, systems, and tools, and supplementing your deficiencies with tailor-made solutions. Here's what can happen if you try a technique designed for someone else's entrepreneurial DNA type that isn't designed for you. It's frustrating to spend hours learning the system only to find that it hasn't had an effect on your entrepreneurship, health, or wealth. You start to question yourself. You start to ask yourself, what are you doing wrong? Where are you making the mistakes? Why is it working for them but not working for you? Here's what you need. You need to make sure that you have a health and wealth strategy that's designed for your entrepreneurial DNA type. Now, knowing that your entrepreneurial DNA type is type T2, the thorough thinker, here's what you need. You want to make sure that you have a special kind of game plan of action that avoids these 3 things. Number 1, CAP. Classic analysis paralysis. Forever learning but never deciding on the next definitive move. It's the classic example of being on the right track but getting run over because you're not in motion. Number 2, P2. Perfection paralysis. This happens when the T2 worries. Worrying often is just a misuse of the imagination, misusing it to imagine and think thoroughly about what could go wrong. Number 3, EPB. Excess pressure burnout. Sets unrealistic goals for him or herself and their teams, ultimately serving no purpose and often kills initiative and creativity at all levels. So you want to substitute those 3 things with these 3 things instead. Number 1, clarify your outcome. Now, as simple as it may sound, it's the number 1 thing that the most successful entrepreneurs know to focus on more than anything else. When your outcome is clearly locked on a definite chief aim, the universe tends to bend in your favor. Number 2, remember that system is an acronym that stands for Save Yourself Time, Energy, and Money. And number 3, remember that the world's greatest entrepreneurs all have stood and continue to stand on the shoulders of giants. Identify and select a team of the best coaches, mentors, systems, strategies, tools, and overall resources to get you to the next level. And most importantly, all of these things need to be tailored, personalized, and customized to your T2 entrepreneurial DNA type. You need to think with an entrepreneur's mind about how to maximize your T2 entrepreneurial DNA type in order to unleash your full health and wealth potential. You need a plan that's going to allow you to have sort of a planned spontaneity. See, it's not about letting chaos reign. It's about allowing you to pull from different disciplines, pull different ideas, not being locked into one paradigm or one structure. You want something that's organized, but gives you the freedom to move laterally. In fact, that's what we help entrepreneurs with all day, every day. And it is a common question we have and a situation we run into where entrepreneurial DNA types is T2. We've put together an entire presentation that covers these things in detail about how you too can discover how to unleash the power of your T2 entrepreneurial DNA type and tap into the next level of health and wealth in as little as 30 days without taking huge risks, even during a crisis. And if you're interested, what I'm about to do now is invite you to a very special presentation. And I'll tell you exactly what you have to do in order to reserve your spot for this very special free presentation because you've taken time to take this quiz today. So if you're interested, don't wait on this. Do it now. Click the link below to reserve your spot for this very special presentation. And again, thank you so much. I'm Poet Woods, and I'll see you in just a moment on the other side. Stay focused. And as always, straight ahead. Click the link below now to reserve your spot now.